Hi everybody, I'm Gail Z and today I want to read a story from Christmas at Caynham Castle, and I have the printout because it exists as an ebook only. It is a limited time collection, so grab it while you can. But it is 7 different full novellas by 7 different romance writers, all set in the same fictional English castle, and a few of them are at different time periods. Of course, my story is from my Deadly Curiosities series, and Teague and Anthony, who are ongoing characters there, have just gotten engaged, and this is a Christmas present from for themselves of going to Caynham Castle and spending the holidays in a real English castle. So that's the backstory you need to know, because I'm coming in kind of at a pivotal point. But one other thing you need to know about Caynham Castle is that there is a legend that says if you kiss your beloved in front of the original gargoyle that was carved when the castle was built, your true love will last forever. So here we are from my story, Crewel Fate. I really want the blackberry and coconut cake, but I also want to see what a Battenberg cake tastes like, Teague said. I've seen those people on the baking show make them, and I'm curious. Then let's get one of each, Anthony replied. They're included, so we don't have to finish them. We can walk it off while we go exploring, Teague agreed with a grin. When they finally finished, Teague thought he might never need to eat again. They thanked the hostess, assured her they would return, and then headed out to walk the perimeter of the castle walls before checking out the Great Hall. Keep an eye out, the hostess said. You might see our ghost, although she usually only reenacts her tragic fall from the tower during the summer. I knew there had to be one, Anthony said with a chuckle. Teague just groaned. The cool air helped to settle their food, and when the wind picked up, Teague felt it nip his nose and bite his cheeks. He was glad for the warm gloves, hat, and scarf, things he rarely needed back in Charleston. Look how thick the walls are, Anthony remarked. The oldest buildings back home are like that too, built to last. Teague and Anthony chatted as they walked around the outer bailey and then crossed the bridge back to the inner bailey. Teague eyed the castle architecture and pointed out things he remembered studying when he had been working on his history degree. Keeping up with one of the old houses in Charleston is an expensive proposition, Anthony said. I can't imagine what it's like trying to do the upkeep on a castle, but the Mortimers have done it nicely. Without warning, Teague pulled Anthony in for a kiss. He grinned at Anthony's surprise. Technically, that's a grotesque, he said, and pointed up at the roof's edge, where a squat stone figure glowered down at them, so ugly it was cute. If it's a water spout, it's a gargoyle. If it's just a decoration, it's a grotesque. I'm not taking any chances on which one is original, he said, tapping Anthony on the nose. When they finally reached the Great Hall, Teague welcomed the warmth. Everything was done up for Christmas, with evergreen boughs, red ribbons, fairy lights, and gold bells. A huge fir tree nearly reached the ceiling, and Teague could only imagine how much decorating would happen before the night of the ball. It said on the website that the mother of the current Earl took that hand-blown glass tree topper down into the air raid shelters during World War II, Teague added. She said she wasn't going to let the Nazis ruin Christmas. It's pretty fantastic, Anthony said, slipping an arm around Teague. Look at that ceiling. Teague craned his neck. It's called a hammer beam, and it's an English Gothic style of open timber roof truss, he said. See the kind of stuff I remember from my classes? Hand-cut beams arched downward at intervals, while still others formed arches along the flat of the timber ceiling, embellished at the corners with intricate woodcutting. It reminded Teague of the ceiling of the Great Hall in the Harry Potter movies. I wish they really could make candles float in the air, Teague said with a sigh, but I guess twinkle lights are almost as good. He took in a deep breath. I love the smell of a real Christmas tree. And the fireplace looks big enough to roast a boar, or maybe an ox, Anthony said with a nod toward the huge opening in the stone wall, with its carved firebox and ornate mantel. I could stand up inside and not hit my head, and I bet that if I spread my arms wide, I still wouldn't touch on either side. Come on, Teague said. There's more to see in the solar in the conservatory. He led Anthony by the hand out of the Great Hall through an archway into 2 adjoining glass-enclosed rooms. Christmas lights twinkled in the now-dry central fountain and wrapped around the potted shrubs. Poinsettias, icicles, ribbons, and tinsel turned the greenhouse into a wonderland. Anthony hauled Teague in for a kiss under a ball of mistletoe tied with a red velvet ribbon. Turnabout's fair play, he said. This is so beautiful, Teague gushed when they headed back through the main hall, and there are a few of the other rooms open for display if we go this way. He led them toward Bride's Tower, where 2 sitting rooms on the 3rd floor were decorated and furnished as the castle would have looked during the 1920s. From the colors, fabric, and scale of the furniture, it was clear that one room was meant for women and the other for men. So this would have been the way it looked right around World War I, Anthony mused, reading a sign on the door. There, Downton Abbey, period. I love that show, so elegant. And the old miniseries we watched, A Brideshead Revisited. If I could have tailored suits like those, I might not mind giving up my jeans, Teague gushed. Maybe we'll have to throw a Gatsby party for Halloween next year if the spooks give you the night off, Anthony teased. Just thinking of you turned out like that is giving me all kinds of naughty ideas. He leaned against Teague, brushing his groin against Teague's leg to let him know exactly what kind of thoughts were going through his mind. I like the way you think, Teague purred. The more masculine of the two rooms had dark wood wainscoting and upholstery in rich emerald and sapphire hues. Brass fittings and etched glass shades accentuated the wall sconces and table lamps. Leather-bound books filled the shelves, along with display cases of watches, silver cigar boxes, monogrammed flasks, and a taxidermied lion that was likely a trophy from safari in Africa. It was easy to imagine well-off men sitting down with cigars and good scotch to discuss the news of the day or play a few hands of cards. This is so far beyond man cave, I'm not sure what to call it, Anthony remarked. But I guess it's not that different from what some of the big plantation houses had. For as nice as this is, I'm glad things have changed. I like our friends, and I'd hate to have to split everyone up instead of being able to all hang out together. The ladies' sitting room had high-backed upholstered couches and wing chairs arranged in conversation groupings, with side tables to hold drinks. The furniture was roped off for display only, and glass covered the bookshelves, protecting both the books and an assortment of family personal items and trinkets from around the world. Teague felt a pull toward a framed piece of hand-embroidered fabric. It was a sampler, the kind done by young women learning to practice various stitching and designs, common at the time. But as soon as Teague saw it, he felt traces of the maker's magic, old, faint, and still potent. What's wrong? Anthony laid a hand on Teague's shoulder. You've got that look. Teague managed to smile. Nothing bad. It's just that whoever did that embroidery had my kind of gift, weaver magic. You can pick up on that after all these years? A note next to the frame said that the needlepoint had been done by Lillian Mortimer in 1916. Uh-huh, Teague replied, distracted as he read the rest of the note card. So Lillian was one of two daughters to the Mortimer family who lived in the castle around the time of the First World War. She and her older sister Mabel would have been in their late teens or early 20s when the war started. It ran longer over here, the war. In the States, we think of it as just 1918, but it started in 1914 in Europe. He couldn't help being a history nerd, and thankfully, Anthony shared his interest. From what we've seen on the History Channel, the war pretty much broke the aristocracy, didn't it? Anthony replied. The death toll was so high, wiped out most of an entire generation of men. I can't even imagine what it must have been like. Teague shivered, although the room was warm. Lillian's needlework held both power and emotions. Now that Teague's gift had tuned in, he could sense sadness, grief, loneliness, and anxiety that made his heart pound. Teague, hey! Anthony's voice brought him out of his thoughts, and Teague stepped back. I'm okay. I just could pick up some feelings from the magic Lillian used. I don't think she was very happy. It must have felt like the world had gone mad during the war. I don't imagine most people were happy, Anthony replied. Lillian's magic had brought Teague's ability to the forefront, and as he walked around the room with Anthony, he gently probed other objects, like a needlepoint pillow and a small tapestry near the fireplace. None of them held any magic of their own. But when he came to the display case with a gold and pearl hair comb, an ivory fan, and a black enameled cigar holder, Teague recoiled as he glimpsed a gray, transparent figure near the case. So that is from my story, Crewel Fate, and it is part of my Deadly Curiosities world, tying into that whole series. But you can find it in Christmas at Caynham Castle, which is our collection of novellas all set in that fictional Mortimer Castle. And keep an eye out, because coming in Halloween of 2020, you will have Halloween at Caynham Castle. I'm Gail Z. Martin. You can find me online at gailzmartin.com, and I'll talk to you soon.